This is for all you new people. I only have one rule. Everybody fights, nobody quits. If you don't do your job, I'll shoot you. Do you get me?
We get you, sir!
Welcome to the Roughnecks.
Rat chest, Roughnecks! Starship Troopers, movie deep dive coming at you next.
Come on! You want some? Here's some! Yeah! Here's some eggs! Oh my god! Shut through me! No! Help! Get it!
Mike Story, how you doing, man?
I'm excited. I love this movie.
We love this movie.
I saw this movie in the theater.
I can't believe that. 1997. This is definitely a guilty pleasure of mine.
Same.
I've seen this movie 25 times, I want to say. Some crazy number.
People say it's so bad it's good. I say it's okay, but it's entertaining. It's up there. If it's on TNT or if it's on Showtime, it's probably staying on in my household.
How would you describe this movie?
I kind of gave you an earlier one when we were talking earlier, like a popcorn sci-fi action flick, something along those lines.
Yeah.
It's a sci-fi action movie if you want to get down brass tacks. But and we'll get into it. The director of this, Paul Verhoeven, right? He's known for satire. There's a ton of satire and social commentary and biting dialogue in this that it is beyond just being a pulp action flick.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how serious do you think this movie is taking itself? Because I know Casper Van Dien, Rico, is taking it very serious. And there's some others that aren't as serious. But, like, it's hard. I still don't know if it's taking itself serious or if it's a joke or if it's somewhere in between.
So I feel like Casper Van Dien definitely taking it seriously. The guy that I think actually does a great job acting in this, Michael Ironside, is taking himself extraordinarily seriously. And the director and the producer, both of whom come from this kind of deeper background, they are taking this seriously as well. This was not appreciated in its time, but in recent years, it is a cult classic, but in recent years, it's become much more critically acclaimed in terms of how it's been received as a satirical take on militarism and fascism, as opposed to being just a pulpy action movie.
Some deeper messages and some subtle stuff.
Now, that being said, there's some gratuitous boobies, which I've got no problem with, and there's obviously some gory violence and some dumb action and really bad dialogue. But
so I would describe this as silly and wild. Those two words, just because it's silly, but it's also wild. There's some really, really random scenes. We mentioned the nudity. And you were talking about Michael Ironside, who's one of my boys. I love when Michael Ironside pops up in a movie. There's been a lot of great ones. Perfect Storm comes to mind. Total Recall, where he just pops up, and it's just amazing. I mean, the guy is just... He's a villain, but he's got, in most movies, got energy, great drill sergeant.
I mean, speaking of Total Recall, I guess it shouldn't be any surprise that we got a shower scene in this movie, seeing as the director of this also directed Total Recall, and he gave us the three-boobed alien in Total Recall.
Right. He's also on Top Gun, Total Recall, Free Willy. He's appearance on Major Payne.
Okay, Major Payne. That was a good...
Starship. Dude, it's a great... I'm just naming like the ones that I love. Like Terminator Salvation. He's the general in the submarine.
Oh, yeah.
It's just great.
Is that the one with Batman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, with Christian Bale.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, though, one of the biggest things was when I was younger, I didn't have a big movie collection. My parents weren't, like, strict, but they weren't, like, at 8 years old, 9 years old, hey, watch a bunch of rated R movies, you know? But my cousin, who was a year younger than me, he was an only child, could watch whatever, rent whatever, and this is one of the movies he had that we watched almost every time. We hung out every week.
VHS, I assume.
Yeah, here's a list.
So you wore out that section of the tape in the shower?
This is a list. It's a weird list of the 4 movies that we watched the most that I can think of. Terminator 2, obviously, was always a watch. Halloween 2. Actually, not the original.
Halloween 2?
Yeah. Halloween 2 has
more
nudity and more kills.
Okay.
It's the hospital one.
Gotcha.
I love Halloween 2.
That's not the one that doesn't have Michael Myers in it, right?
Yeah, it's Halloween 3.
Okay.
The Witch. Starship Troopers, and then Demolition Man. Those 4, I know we both love Demolition Man.
Dude, Demolition Man, like...
So we loved action, we loved boobies, we loved fun, we liked rated R. Like, that's what we wanted. We were going to watch no PG-13 movies, or Disney movies when we were 8 years old. We're watching T2.
Dennis Leary in Demolition Man.
Oh, my God.
Might be the best monologue in any movie ever.
Taco Bell.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Michael Ironside. The cast of this movie is just we were watching a little bit before we started recording. Amy Smart just in 2 scenes.
2 scenes.
Before she became a thing. But just people are just popping up left and right. Clancy Brown. Like you look up and there's a kind of an unsung character actor that is just killing it, and they're all in their own roles. It's like a championship team, like the Detroit Pistons. I feel like this cast is. It just doesn't miss, right?
Oh, it's stellar. I mean, Denise Richards has had a long acting career. She's just in her best movie. I'm sure she's a lovely person.
No, this actually might be her best movie because she's that bad.
But the effort she's putting in is just it. But I mean, you've got
Very
Jake
bold.
Busey in the air, right?
I love Jake Busey.
Yeah, you got Breckenridge. The guy who plays Breckenridge is in the Under Siege.
Yeah.
Under Siege, right?
He's a deep name.
Yeah.
So Paul Verhoeven, 4 movies he's known for, like really known for, and they're very interesting. There's 2 that are similar, and then the other 2 that are similar, but they're so far apart. So RoboCop and Total Recall, in this movie, and then you have Showgirls and Basic Instinct.
Yeah.
So he likes sci-fi, crazy sci-fi, futuristic kind of noir, or you have 2 of the like most X-rated movies that have ever been released to the mainstream, right?
It is
Instinct's a porn.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, it's a great movie, but like it's raunchy and has some of the like 3 or 4 craziest scenes in movie history.
and you've got actually like really good acting in that versus your Showgirls.
Showgirls, I think,
where you
is
got
one of the worst movies ever
Elizabeth
made, right?
Berkley.
Have you ever seen it?
I've seen
never
bits
seen
and pieces of it. I've never seen it.
That should have been on my list. Me and my cousin, Like,
Yeah, you guys should have watched that because there's plenty in there. Also, he did Hollow Man, which is an underrated sci-fi movie.
I think Showgirls was like one of the lowest rated movies ever to be released.
It doesn't surprise
And
me.
I was thinking about back when it was released, like what the theater looked like when it was in theaters. Like I just picture a bunch of like 47-year-old bald divorced dudes just watching Showgirls by themselves.
I mean, there's plenty of divorced dads who were there by themselves because their kids were watching Saved by the Bell, and it had Elizabeth Berkley in it. You know what I mean?
Right. And do you think they had a guy when that movie came out for those theaters to clean up the loads? Essentially, it was like a porn theater, right? With those guys.
We should find somebody who worked there when that movie was out and see what his experience was
Right?
like. It'd probably be like coming back from war.
Like, there's a white Slurpee on the floor? No, man. Whoops. All right. Let's get on to the movie itself here. You know what the budget of this movie was?
100 to 110 million is what I saw online.
How?
I don't know.
How?
I mean, a lot of it went into the CGI, right?
I get it, but that was I know it's 5 years after Terminator 2, but that's the budget of Terminator 2, which is the most groundbreaking, special effects, amazing storyline. Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime. They didn't have to pay any of these actors anything, right?
For a movie that's
who were they paying?
over 25 years old, $100 million is a ridiculous amount of money.
Without a big name actor.
Right.
Without like
right.
Arnold probably made 30 of that 100 million because he was at his peak. Maybe more.
Right. There's no Tom Hanks in this movie, right?
Casper Van Dien has done nothing. Like,
well, that's funny because I was reading.
It wasn't Gary Busey. It was Jake Busey.
The casting of this.
Richards.
Well, she was actually pretty popular.
Yeah.
I don't know what she, but she's also.
You can put anyone in that
but
role.
I mean, to be fair, like, and I'm not saying this is right, but she's also a woman, and in Hollywood in the '90s, women were way underpaid relative to their male co-stars.
And she doesn't even show her tits.
It's unfortunate.
Another nitpick I have of this thing
is that she didn't show.
Well, you get to see Dina Meyer's tits.
Right.
They're okay. They're small.
Yeah,
And then you get the randoms in the shower scene. You don't see any dick though, unfortunately. Or fortunately.
It's your prerogative.
Showing my colors there. How do you classify this movie? Comedy, sci-fi, action, all of the above?
It's sci-fi action, and it's got a lot of humor in it, and it's not some of it is unintentional, but there's a lot of direct humor in here.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't slap the comedy label on it. It is a sci-fi action movie, but the director did a fantastic job of weaving in those comedic elements to the movie.
It's funny to us though because we love it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? What is this? Seltzer?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because somebody brought them over to my house,
and
they've just been sitting in the garage, and I just grabbed a bunch of random shit.
That?
Orange cream pop.
Is it good?
Nope.
Good answer. All right, so we mentioned the budget, 100 to 110 million. It did make 121 total in the box office, so it did make some money.
Not really. I mean, when you consider that you pretty much have to double the budget for marketing, this definitely was a commercial flop. But
It was going to be with that budget.
definitely, well, there was. I don't think there was any
This
chance.
movie could have done 20 million though. Like you could have seen a world where it's like no big name, not a great title. I mean, a decent title, I guess, but it was just.
This is probably the pinnacle of action movies, though, right? You've got your Armageddon, Deep Impact.
Post Arnold Stallone.
Sure.
Pinnacle, yeah. The Deep Impact. Roger Ebert, 2 stars. I think it's fair. I mean, he's not like this is a movie that gets better upon rewatch. Would you agree?
He did certainly. He did recognize the satire, and he said, "quote Apart from the satire, Starship Troopers lacked any humanity or basic entertainment value with which to establish a connection to the audience," which I wholeheartedly disagree with. I think there's plenty of entertainment value in here.
Yeah, I mean, all the battle scenes, which I think could be way better, but like because they're just kind of random and just the same over and over and over. It could have been more intricate, I suppose. Like if you go to a movie like Aliens.
I'd like to see them fighting other types of bugs, but we'll get to that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. On to the categories. Best scene. What do you got, Story?
My top is the Outpost whiskey battle scene. That one where they realize that it's a trap and the bugs are incoming, and they spend the next 10 minutes fighting off the bugs as they're climbing up the walls. There's a hilarious moment at one point where the arachnids have the bright idea to like take out the supports in the outpost. So one of them does that, and then that post just falls on one of his other guys. That's, like I said, unintentionally. Maybe I don't know. That might.
What does that look like to you? Look like his brain's been sucked out.
They sucked his brains out. Greatest line in cinema history.
Side, baby.
Yeah. Also, the attack in the desert. I don't think the Battle of Clondeath was all that good, but the attack in the desert I think is really good.
Where Rico gets squad leader.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Is he squad? No, he gets bumped up to corporal, doesn't he? There, maybe sergeant. I can't remember. No, corporal.
Yeah. And then he gets squad leader after Michael Ironside.
And then almost all of boot camp is just great. There's a lot of humor in there. Clancy Brown is outstanding in that, and then everything with Michael Ironside. Take it to the top.
I had boot camp, of course. That whole section of the movie is amazing. The first invasion, I know it doesn't quite hit, but like it's nice that it starts the movie with it, to foreshadow it, and they go to the full scene. And I just love the cameraman.
Yeah.
He keeps on telling him to get out. And he's just like seeing all these people die.
What is the incentive for cameramen in this universe that the dude is taking? First of all, it's a really shitty job being a he did it really badly. But what's his incentive to stay there? Rico told him to get out.
We should make a list of like the dumbest cameramen, because I'm thinking of The Day After Tomorrow, the cameraman who's like there's the 6 tornadoes and he's just on the street and he gets hit by that sign. Like what are you doing? Like you're not making much money.
Right.
Like if you're in a helicopter, maybe you can get out of like these certain situations.
Pretty sure any real cameraman is like, nope, I'm not getting paid. Yeah.
I'm out. I mean, you might as well be filming Dennis Rodman right on the baseline because you're gonna get kicked, man. Rico gets squad leader. I love that. Or not squad. I call it squad leader. That's when he. Okay, sorry. When Rico gets corporal.
Corporal. When the one corporal gets her arm burned off.
The move with the grenade. Love that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add in the sex scene. The party. It's not even a sex scene, but like
it's got some humor in there too.
It's gonna be a sex scene, and then better make it 20 minutes.
Here's the beer.
And then I think Diz dying. I know that's like part of the end of the base, but it's emotional, man. Like it's sad, and her little. At least I got to have you.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a future.
Your whole life to like date this guy, and he fucks you once, and then you're happy about it. Like that guy's got a golden dick, right?
Apparently,
handsome guy.
He is a handsome guy. There's no question about it. Certainly a good-looking teenager.
You know how old he was?
I don't know, probably 28.
29.
29. Okay, yeah.
I know it spans 2 years, but like at the oldest he is in this movie is 20.
It's hilarious because I was reading that as part of the casting they rejected a couple of guys in their 30s because they wanted people who could quote realistically play teenagers, and I'm like,
you went with maybe 25, maybe.
No, the dude's he's very clearly pushing 30 in this movie.
His jawline is very, very distinct.
Yes,
and that doesn't happen at 18.
Nobody's that filled out at 18 either.
Yeah, and he probably had to shave like every 2 hours to keep that baby face. What do you think the vote should be for best scene though? You want to?
I would go with the Outpost whiskey battle scene. I think it's long enough, but it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's got some emotional punch because of Diz dying and Michael Ironside. That's where he kicks it.
Yeah. You know what to do. It has a lot of video game vibes too. Like
Sir, he's just a little out of his mind.
Yeah.
And then he gets squashed by that bug, and Rico and Ace smile at each other like, well, I guess he's gone.
You could totally see that being a level in a sweet video game.
I'm sure that there's a first-person shooter based on this movie, and I bet that's a level.
Be like the best level. All right, what's age the best? I have the shower scene. I just love gratuitous nudity, and there's never been a better display of it in my life, of the interview and asking people when they're all naked. And like, also, would they let them all shower together, male and female?
Yeah, it's an interesting that the
That's
society.
gonna just be a fucking porn.
Part of the society, though, is they've gone beyond the racism and sexism have all faded away as militarism and fascism have come into vogue.
But clearly, sex appeal and like, attraction is real because Rico literally joined the mobile infantry for a girl.
Also, yeah,
Which
Xander.
makes no sense, but
Yeah, Xander basically like stopped playing a football game in order to hit on Denise Richards.
right. So like, they got to realize, and they're living together too in the bunks. Like it's just strange. I love how quick this movie gets into the plot. There's no opening credits. It's just right into explain the movie. There's no.
There's a little narration through news at the beginning,
barely,
but yeah.
that's good. That's good. That's not like Star Wars. I love Star Wars, but the whole.
Got to crawl.
Come on, I don't like that explanation. You don't need that explanation. Just show me.
Show, don't tell.
That's what I like. Or don't read. How about that? Would you like to know more? I love all those. I love them. It's great satire. The three that I love in particular is the kids with guns, stopping the bugs, and then the murderer, where he gets tried, convicted, and executed in one day.
I think that the guy who played the murderer, I think that's one of the writers or one of the producers. I think I read
Love
that.
that. Where it's like caught today.
Execution at 6.
In one day. Well, I guess it stops people from breaking the law.
Maybe.
What if he was innocent?
That's the problem.
What do you have for Ace the Best?
Most of the CGI in this is really, really good and holds up. There are some wonky moments a little bit, but in general, the CGI for a 1997 movie, I think, holds up really, really well. Now, I mean, that's probably where a lot of the budget went. I mean, at some point, they had Industrial Light and Magic working on this, so they paid a lot for that. It took a little while to come around to it, but I mentioned this earlier, the satire and the critique of militarism, the military-industrial complex, jingoism and nationalism, fascism. This is a commentary on pro-war propaganda movies, and that's what this holds up well to that, especially, don't tell Ray I said this, but in this day and age. And then 90s action movies. I mean, this is, like I said, this is the pinnacle.
Yeah.
95 through 99, like outstanding 4 or 5 years worth of action movies.
And it's the good time where it's not based on just having a guy for the poster. You know what I mean? Like this is actually a good movie. They're Demolition Man. I guess it had Stallone, but like that movie holds true without the fact that it's Stallone and Stipes.
Right. But what are your action movies over the last 15 years? It's all superhero movies, like comic book movies now. And it's just become,
I hate those.
I just saw the most recent Captain America movie, and it's fine. Like, this is a movie that I would go see in the theater again. I wouldn't go see Captain America again.
And you've seen this 25 times.
Yes.
See, that's a ringing endorsement.
I would go see if this came to a local theater, I would go see it.
Same.
Yeah.
And you already saw it in theaters.
I did?
haven't. I definitely would. Would you go see Showgirls?
Sure, why not?
Hey, man. Free porn? Well, it wouldn't be free. But,
I'll go on the Tuesday value days.
all right. What's age the worst? Denise Richards' pussy. And you might be asking, why am I saying that? Because she dated Charlie Sheen right after this.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So he was insatiable, and he also had hepatitis and HIV. So, yeah. So I don't know what she was doing. This is like after Charlie Sheen was even Charlie Sheen, right? Like I feel like after the mid '90s, he was known as the Charlie Sheen window.
Man, I forgot about that.
Also, shout out Seinfeld, the low hanging shirt. But that's her best performance. Denise Richards' best performance. Sacrificing military/civilians is the worst, man. Like it's real. It's been done. Lusitania, Pearl Harbor, 9/11. Go down the list. They'll sacrifice military. They'll sacrifice civilians' lives, and they don't care. And that's what they did in this movie.
Who's they? You mean like the government?
The government.
Oh, okay,
People,
yeah.
Like the higher ups sending people to die.
Yeah.
For the greater good, which we'll get into the details of why they even invaded. Or
I've got some questions about that.
Last one is just Casper Van Dien's acting. It's not awful. He's in the wrong movie. And like I love when people are just you've seen Independence Day, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I was watching Independence Day earlier.
Jeff Goldblum's dad is in the wrong movie in that, where he's like, all you need is love.
Judd Hirsch.
Yeah, like he's in some rom-com, and this is Independence Day, and like Casper Rico is literally so serious, and like there's no comedy aspect in him at all. He's just taking this like this is like Apocalypse Now to him. Which, hey, I love it. It's funny because it kind of works, but like it's not good. It's really bad.
It kind of dovetails. I just put the acting, and I think you're right. I think there's a lot of mismatch between some of the tone of some scenes, and then, well, like where the scene where Carl walks in after Dizzy's funeral and he's talking with Rico, and
that's life, boys and girls.
Yeah, I don't know what that scene's supposed to convey, and then he ends it on a joke. Like Rico says, "Yeah, I'm your man until you find somebody better, or I'm dead." Like he ends it on a joke. Like you just buried one of your, one of your lays.
Yeah, you're just like disrespecting.
So there is some tonal shifts, some weird acting choices there. And Denise Richards, like I said, I'm sure she's a very lovely person, but this is bad. This is really, really bad.
She is the big problem.
So I also have casting actors in their 20s as high school students, and they don't learn. They don't learn. We're still dealing with this in 2025. Yeah. It's insane to me. You can't possibly think that this man, he's a man in his 26. He can't pass as a high school student.
I lost some weight, so you think I could play a high school student now?
No,
I'm only 36.
I don't. I don't think you can play a college student.
Yeah, good.
Maybe non-traditional.
In Starship Troopers, I could.
Yes, you could. In that world.
Yes. Anything else?
Just propaganda films in general. It's aging badly, but it's still going on. Propaganda in general.
Sorry. Whoops. Internet research. I didn't have any. What did you have?
I got a few things. So the shower scene is interesting because the cast only agreed to do the shower scene if Paul Verhoeven and the cinematographer Joe Vacano were also naked as they filmed, and both of them were like, "No problem," and they did it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wish they showed that.
So we already kind of touched on this, but the movie was panned universally for portraying fascism in a positive light when it took decades for it to come out that, no, this is actually a satire. The interesting thing is Paul Verhoeven only read a few chapters of this movie is based on Robert Heinlein's book, Starship Troopers. He only read a few chapters of it before giving up on the book. He said he hated it, called it boring and depressing. So, Jake Busey didn't know how to play the violin before this movie. And he's actually playing the violin in those two scenes.
He learned?
He learned.
Tom Cruise.
Paul Verhoeven's wife taught Jake Busey how to play the violin in a few months for this movie.
It's a Tom Cruise move.
And then, I love this one. It's so meaningless. But at the time, the fleet bombing of Planet P before they roll into the outpost? The fleet bombing on Planet P was the longest rolling explosion in cinematic special effects history. Tons of explosives were detonated sequentially over a mile's worth of destruction.
Really?
Yeah.
There's the budget.
There it is. Wow. A lot of it.
Casting what ifs. I did not find any.
Just that Verhoeven looked at, like I said, Chris O'Donnell and Christian Slater, who were both in their 30s, for Rico, and they decided, nope, both are too old.
Chris O'Donnell, I could see.
And then Mark Wahlberg and Matt Damon both auditioned for this role.
I didn't go with Matt Damon.
I don't know. Can you see Matt Damon in this role?
Yes. Matt Damon's amazing. He can play any role.
Okay.
Who was the other one? Matt Damon?
Mark Wahlberg.
No, because he's not. It's not from Boston. I can see Donnie Wahlberg. Right? Save a little bit of money.
Donnie Wahlberg's like 10 years older than Mark Wahlberg.
I just met him, actually.
Donnie?
Yeah.
Where? Downtown? Oh, he came to the club?
Yeah, last year. Dude, he looks good.
He's
really good.
He's like 50.
Dude, what did I just watch him in?
It's too bad his wife is a raging nut job.
What's his biggest movie?
Blue Bloods. The Saw 2.
Yeah, dude, he looks terrible in that movie.
Yeah, he does.
And that's 2004.
I wonder if that's part of it, though. Like, he's a haggard police detective.
I'm saying that's 20 years ago. He was like 30. Now he looks great.
The movie was like 20 years ago, wasn't it?
He looks great.
Oh, good to know.
He was super nice.
What was he doing there?
Playing golf.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
With who?
They live here.
I know that. They live in St. Charles.
He was just prospective, man. He wasn't going to join. Anyways, recasting couch. I only had two. You're going to love this one.
Okay.
Ed Burns for Xander.
Ed Burns.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see that?
I can see that.
I don't mind Xander, but like Ed Burns is great.
I got a Xander.
Like that football scene, Ed Burns just being a dick.
That would be fun. Who's your other one?
Gary Busey, just to kind of throw him in there with Jake, as the guy hiding in the base, which is also the guy hiding in the base. That's
good. So general that's hiding in the base.
Yeah.
That would be good.
He's that's the guy actually that is playing that role is in Total Recall. And Verhoeven likes to kind
Who's he in Total Recall?
of. I think he's one of the bad guys.
Okay.
I think he might be the main bad guy.
No, he's not the main bad guy. The main bad guy's older. I'll have to look that up. Anyway.
Maybe he's the guy that has the little creature on him. He's definitely in Total Recall.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's the guy that has the creature.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's in Hollow Man. No,
What's
anyway.
the creature called?
I can't remember.
What do you got?
So for Johnny Rico, I went with. This is a modern casting, so I went with Austin Butler.
I know.
He played Elvis. He's
okay.
he's in the newest Dune movie.
That could work.
Yeah. For Carmen, went with Haley Steinfeld. She's got the same kind of look, but she's a much better actress. For Dizzy, I went with Karen Gillan. She's a redhead, so good looking. For Carl, I went with Finn Wolfhard. I think he'd be playing a nice kind of nerdy guy. For Ace, I went with, this is a little older, but Ace is a little older, I think. I went with Wyatt Russell, who's Kurt Russell's son. For Zim, I went with The Rock. I'd love to see The Rock do this. And then Xander, I went with Glenn Powell, just that smug, good-looking guy. And then for Ratcheck, I went with Bryan Cranston.
That's good. I want to see. Yeah. Well, also a shot at
The one I like
Private Ryan.
the one I like the most is Bryan Cranston.
Yeah. Love Bryan Cranston. Okay, weak link. This is easy. It's Denise Richards acting.
Yeah,
Right?
that's my top one, Denise Richards.
Any other weak links?
I think Dina Meyer's death scene's pretty bad.
I love it when she's prancing. Like when she thinks she did something.
Oh,
She's like,
her
"Can I
premature
slow down?"
celebration.
But she's running slow.
Woo!
But we know she's like super athletic. Like, get out of there. Like, she's just like literally hopping and like not moving. I know it's like also the camera working in slow-mo.
Yeah, the death scene is just so bad though. I don't know if it's written that way.
Actually, like when she dies in the little
On the shuttle.
transport.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, the blood and it's emotional. I cried.
Yeah.
I cried. Okay, we're on to nitpicks.
Okay.
This will be fun. I have a couple here. So the whole reason they're there is because the alien meteorite, right? I think it's 80,000 or 80 million light years away. I want to say it's 80 million because it's across the galaxy. Right?
Yeah. At one of the Do You Want to Know More? It's shown on the literal other side of the
it's 80
galaxy.
million then, because our galaxy is 100 million light years across. It's almost two ends, right?
Mm-hmm.
Either way, let's say it's 80,000, whatever. It takes 80,000 years for them to send it. These meteoroids they're not going at light speed, right?
No.
Right. So it's going to take, dude. So why are we worried about that? Are they sent this 800 million years ago? Even if it was light speed, that's 800 million years.
So I'm going to jump ahead a few categories, but this is one of my unanswerable questions. Were the asteroid attacks, was this a natural event that was a false flag by the government to get us to go to war? Because we were already colonizing the bugs' planets, and there was already conflicts. So did they either take a natural asteroid hit, or was it a false flag operation, an inside job, where they did it to their own citizens in order to have the catalyst to go to war?
And you're aware of, I think it's fact. We don't know because this is relativity. But if you're traveling at the speed of light, okay, and you're going 800 light years away, 800,000 possible light years away, whatever you do when you get there, Earth isn't there anymore.
As we know, with relativity, as you approach the speed of light, the time around you moves faster. Right.
But
so
Earth isn't changing.
So we have to assume that there's some technology in this universe that allows you to jump large distances
Without the time passing.
without the time
We're
dilation.
just talking about what we know about. We don't even know because we don't have it.
To be fair, the only reason that the laws of physics are the, quote, immutable laws of physics is because we have not observed them changing. That doesn't necessarily mean that the laws of physics as we know it are the laws. It's just that within our observable universe, we haven't seen anything different.
Professor Story over here.
I'm just saying.
Cue the music.
Yeah.
I love that. But I'm just saying, dude, just alone, the meteoroid, the amount of distance has to cover, like, they can't send it instantaneously, so why I know they maybe did it.
That's why I think it was a false flag.
Right.
Yeah.
And, like, people didn't think about that, how far away it is.
Well, we live in a military...
Why? And how would they even know how to do it? They don't have the technology. they're technically like cockroaches, right? They're survivors, right?
I think that's kind of the point of the movie is that people will willingly look past all that because the military government tells them to look past all that.
Maybe they wanted some resources.
So I don't know if it's necessarily a problem with the movie as it is a problem with that society.
And if they're trying to colonize, there's literally a billion other planets in between those two where you can colonize.
True.
That's all I'm saying. How do we even know about it? Let's talk about the football scene here because this is a big one for me. Break this football scene down. It is amazing. It's a 30. I think it's a 35-yard field. Let's say it's 40. Let's call it 40.
Yeah, I mean it's not even that wide.
No, what's arena? Like 60?
I don't know.
Small. It's not 40.
I think it's 50.
Okay, 40. Yeah. I have 35 written down here.
Right.
That's tiny. Okay.
Yeah.
And everyone on the field is Marshawn Lynch. Okay, and there's not a single tackle made on defense, and you have Dizzy as a quarterback who's 140 pounds as a chick, literally just shouldering these dudes out of the way. There's just no tackles made. The last play.
He's in there. It's over.
You got 3 defenders back in a Hail Mary situation. They're playing the guy, not the ball. And he just flips over him, and it's just
also these are all two-way players, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just awful. It's so bad it's good. But like I could poke so many holes into this football scene.
You remember what the name of the play is that he scored on?
Flip stick 3-hole.
Flip 6 3-hole.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Flip stick.
Flip 6.
Okay, I'm gonna still call it flip stick.
Flip sticks.
You have anything else about that?
The football?
Scene? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean you said it all.
The call's great. Though.
He's in there.
Like, what the hell is this? Like that's like an umpire who's just like strike.
It's so ridiculous. I love it.
It's a great scene. And a couple other ones here. Why would Rico join because of Carmen? Why would he join the infantry when she's going to flight school though?
You're gonna have to bleep this out, but pussy is a hell of a drug.
But it doesn't. He's not going to see her any more or less if he joins. Was he trying to impress her?
Dude, you've never done anything stupid for a chick?
No, I've done a lot of stupid things, but not like that.
People do stupid shit like join the military.
But is it because he's trying to impress her? Like
yes.
John says?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. He realizes that she is going somewhere she's got a vision, she's got a goal, she's working towards that, and he's been carted along by his parents. Right. Dragging him.
I get it. Yeah. It's literally stupid. It doesn't increase his chances at all. So it actually decreases them because he's probably going to die.
Fair.
Right? Carmen, Denise, she's smiling the entire movie.
Yeah.
Until like the last 2 scenes, she just is so happy.
I feel like she's on drugs. It's crazy.
Well, she did date Charlie Sheen after this movie, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And then the last one is it's a year from the first scene of before graduation and the Clan Dathu battle. And then I think it's probably 18 months total maybe for the whole movie. They all rise up the ranks so fast. Carl is like the head of the intelligence of the military.
Yep.
Right? Rico is like the squad leader of squad leaders. Carmen's like the top pilot. No. That's way too fast.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Well, that's one of my nitpicks is the timeline is all messed up. So they're playing football on the last day of school before the same day that they have a joint school dance. So the 2 schools have a joint dance, and Xander's already in a military uniform. But then Carmen and Carl and Johnny sign up the next day, and then the day after that they leave for boot camp. And also Carmen left for the Fleet Academy the same time as Xander, but Xander has enough pull to bring her out of the Fleet Academy and what the hell's going on in this military? They're just shuffling people around.
There's also children in the military. So
That's true. Literal children at one point. One of my big ones is, how did the bug brain or the brain bug fit into that tiny compound in the whiskey outpost? He's like, they sucked his brains out.
Right.
How'd that giant bug?
Maybe they moved him after.
And then okay, so
because he was underneath the
they
sand,
say,
right?
yeah, well, they're like, that's how they
That
get.
wasn't even the brain bug. That was a different big bug.
No, they sucked his brains out.
Right.
You're saying there's
the bug that comes up at the end from the sand isn't the brain bug. That's
no. I get that. That's one of those shooting plasma bugs.
They always have all the little minions around the brain bug.
So you think they brought the dude there,
probably,
and then sucked his brains out and made him do some orders and then brought him back?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. And then this is a problem with the movie. There's just too many fake out death scenes. I hate that in movies. I hate it. Like, we know the main characters aren't dying midway through in a popcorn action flick like this. We know Rico's not dead within the first.
It could happen.
It can happen, and it has happened, but it's not common.
Quoting Angels in the Outfield. It could happen.
Like, there's the one with Carmen where she gets the fire into the face, and then
right.
the very next scene, she's got a little cut on her face.
Tiniest cut, dude.
Yeah.
What? No,
So
she'd be burned.
That's a problem with the movie.
All right. Best quotes. I had 3. The enemy cannot push a button if you disable his hand.
That's my number 1, too.
Quickly followed by one of, I think, the 3. Medic! Just awesome. Awesome. And then I only have one rule. Everyone fights.
We did that at the beginning.
Love all those.
I love Zim's opening where he's like, anytime you think I'm being too rough, anytime you think I'm being too tough, anytime you miss your mommy, quit.
Right?
Did the this is for you new people, and then the greatest line reading in cinematic history, they sucked his brains out.
So serious.
And then Carl's line when he's talking to Carmen and Johnny, you don't like it? Well, too bad. We're in this for the species, boys and girls. It's simple numbers. They have more. He's just so matter of fact about it. Doogie Howser's still trying to shed that boy MD look, and he's the military police. And then the only good bug is a dead bug.
So many quotable lines. Heat check award. Bench player that kills it. I have a lot of nominees here. Clancy Brown, Michael Ironside, Jake Busey. I have the Mexican guy where you probably know his name.
Shujimi.
And then the big country boy.
Breckenridge.
There you go, Breckenridge.
I also put Sugar Watkins on there. That's the black guy who's in Rico's Roughnecks. He says or he's in Ratchet's Roughnecks. Then he says Rico's Roughnecks.
The Walking Dead guy.
Yeah, Seth Gilliam.
Yeah. Okay. Who do you think wins this?
Clancy Brown.
Think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ironside's close.
Ironside's not enough of a bench player, though, I don't think.
Really?
Yeah, he's too.
Busey in too much too?
Nah, yeah, probably.
And it's hard to not actually have the Mexican guy too, because
You want some? Get some.
And then when he talks about getting Harvard,
I got into Harvard.
and you told me about
Yeah, so if you haven't seen it, go watch the shower scene where he says he got into Harvard. He's like, but my father says it's going to cost an arm and a leg, so I serve, and the Federation pays my way. Then they go to the battle on Clandathu. He's out there just blasting away, and before the bugs actually completely destroy him, he loses an arm and then a leg.
So good. I didn't think I could love this movie more until you explained that to me. I've seen it so many times that I never noticed that. It's so smart.
Oh my God.
I hope that they did that on purpose.
Oh, Verhoeven's way too smart to not do that on purpose.
But you could see a world where it was an accident, but it actually works out because there's a people losing multiple limbs.
It's true.
But that's great.
That's another nitpick, though. Like, why does Johnny get a tank just to fix a big wound in his thigh, and they got multiple dudes missing arms and legs in the triage area?
Because they're not Johnny Rico.
True.
All right, overacting award. Man, I mean, it could go to Rico. Who do you have first?
So I got it's a couple of scenes. It's Anthony Ruvivar, who's Shujimi, in that scene on Clandathu, and he's like, get some! Yeah. And then I got, as much as I hate to say it, Seth Gilliam is a little kind of way over the top in his, when he's going down, he's got the nuke, and he's also doing the get some. Yeah.
This is a small one, but it is the guy who says a bug who can think. Insects with intelligence.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I find that offensive. He's such a dick and a prick. And he's wrong, right?
True.
He's wrong. Most of them can't think like that, but they do have a brain bug. And he's so dismissive of the idea.
Yeah, the fact that they're, within this universe at least, known to throw asteroids at Earth, and we got the planetary defense, thank goodness. Right. But to be fair, is that not Fox News?
The trajectory and the planets are moving. How are you going to hit it? They got to be able to think.
It's true.
One Oscar
I find that offensive.
The way it's just one Oscar to give.
Michael Ironside.
I got Diz. I think Diz is great. I think she's great in this movie. The slapping Rico. You're drifting.
That's been good.
Just everything she does, man. Her death scene. I know it's over the top, but her love for Rico.
She's got the biggest lady boner.
She's a badass chick. She shows her tits multiple times. The fight with Clancy Brown, she does kind of go toe to toe with him for a minute.
Oh yeah.
Before she gets.
Rewatching it, I noticed when she goes to sit with Rico, she's got a bruise on her neck there. Yeah. Good attention to detail.
Yeah. I think she wins this one.
I would go with Michael Ironside.
Okay.
He's just such a darn good actor.
I know. He's so good. I hope he does more. Is he's still alive?
Don't know.
I hope
Good question. I'll look that up.
Scene we would add to the movie. I have number 1, Denise Richards.
Still alive.
Good. Denise Richards, show your tits. A sex scene with Denise Richards, anything. Like, someone else does it.
Pre Charlie Sheen, Denise Richards tits.
Do it.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Do it. Well, I don't think he had any effect on her titties. He wrecked her vagina. I clearly stated that.
That's true.
And then one more bug attack scene, man. I want one more scene like that's a little cleaner. There's like 3. Like real like warfare with the bugs. Give me one more.
I want another scene with Carl in his military intelligence role. So we only got 3 scenes of him after he went to the academy.
Yeah, you get the what's
the video one, and then we got the one after Diz's funeral, and then the one with the brain bug. I want something else in there.
To foreshadow his rise.
Yes, I want to see his progression as well. I know he's not one of the main characters, but he kind of is. Also, I want to see the scene showing how Zim got himself busted down to private. Like, did he strike a superior officer? What is it?
I love the foreshadowing when he wants to fight, and like the higher ups just like you can't. You know, you're in charge of these people.
The only way you're gonna see action is if you bust yourself down to private. You get me?
I wish I could quote. I should be able to quote.
That's Hank from Breaking Bad.
Yeah. He shows up in a lot of things, man.
Yeah.
He was just in an episode of X-Files I was watching.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Which one?
The one where the prison's getting attacked by that virus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's like the
I can't remember.
renegade. He's like the renegade cop that's like working undercover for like the smoking man that kills him at the end. And like everything he's doing is wrong, and Mulder has to keep on correcting him, even though he's in charge of the unit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
And he isn't bald yet in that, so he's slowly gotten balder and bigger.
He was bald in this.
Well, no, he was. Well, it was '94.
Okay. Well,
I'm just saying, like completely.
It happens fast. When it goes, it happens fast.
Me, man, I look great. A relevant actor, Pee break. I didn't have one. I'm not gonna put one.
Dizzy's funeral. I know what. Yeah, I know what it is. Like.
I know, but then you didn't get the Carl scene.
I want to go fast so I can get back for the Carl scene. So
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna put one because I love this movie too much.
I mean, I could take once they get on the. I know what Rico says when they get on the ship, the transport ship. So I could take it from when they get on because I could skip all the death scene, and then her funeral's right after that, and then let me come back for when Carl walks in.
All right. Relevant actor, two nominees for me. Seth Gilliam, Walking Dead guy.
Yep.
He looks way different.
Play Sugar Watkins.
The winner is Sue Ellen Mishke. Right?
That's Sue Ellen Mishke?
Yeah. See, that's the winner.
Holy cow. I didn't even put that together.
And she's done some stuff. She's in 13 Reasons Why. I don't know if you've seen that show.
I can't believe, because I had Amy Smart as a nominee, Seth Gilliam.
I didn't realize it until watching it 5 times for this pod.
I mean, I watched the movie twice over the last week, and I did not put it together.
Yeah.
And I was watching Seinfeld today.
Yeah, Sue Ellen Mishke.
It's funny. The other one I would...
Why? Because she was wearing a bra.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen her without a bra. Have you seen 13 Reasons Why, though?
No.
It's a good show.
Someone made a big goddamn mistake.
Yeah, she's in the... her death scene's also way over the top.
I love it. It's unintentionally
so
hilarious.
fast.
It's so... They keep inventing new ways for these idiots to die, and I love
She
it.
can't finish her sentence. What was her sentence?
She's dead, Carmen!
Get to the...
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
You could throw Breckenridge in there. He's in a bunch of stuff in the '90s, but I think yeah. It's
Because you didn't even know.
what's her actor? What's that actor's
I don't
name?
know Sue Ellen Mishke's
Okay.
name. I think they just named the character after her in Seinfeld. Hottest Take Award. This is a great one. Have you seen Team America?
No.
Oh shit! So you should watch Team America.
Team America World Police. I haven't seen it.
So they created the main character after Johnny Rico. He looks like him. He's super serious. Like in like the movie itself, the character taking it serious. Like the guys in like the special ops or whatever. Like that is Rico. Totally Rico. So that's mine.
I should probably watch that.
You definitely should. What do you have? Do you have a hottest take?
No notes. The movie's perfect.
There you go.
But Dizzy's death scene is one of the worst that I've ever seen.
It's not that hot.
So bad. The I mentioned it though. The captain's death is just hilarious to me. It's like laugh out loud funny. I don't know why. It's so dramatic and serious, but it's so stupid and so funny. A lot of this movie is really funny. I mean, go into it with an open mind. You're gonna have a good time.
100%. Unanswerable questions. Why didn't they just nuke the planet and destroy it?
Mm-hmm. That's a good question. Like we saw what the fleet did on Planet P, right? Where they just bombed the shit out of it.
And you hear what Busey says, where he's like, before the knife. Which another scene I love is the knife scene. Put your hand up on that wall. He's like, why do we need a knife if we're in a nuke fight anyway,
sir?
Why? And the answer is there's bigger motivations.
Right, they're trying to catch a brain bug, and there's a reason that they're going to these planets, and it's not just to spread out humanity. You mentioned there's planets that would be closer and more habitable. Yeah, these are desert planets, right?
Avatar, right?
Yes.
It must have unobtainium.
Unobtainium.
The greatest name for a resource ever. You can't obtain it.
Yes. Good job, James Cameron.
So bad. What do the bugs eat on this desolate planet?
So my question is, do they eat people? Do they eat the people, or they just tear them apart?
Well, either way, but there's not always people on the planet.
No, I know, but that's another question. Is when they get
because they show the aftermath, all the people are fine.
No, that's true. They did show a lot of dead bodies.
There's no vegetation. It doesn't seem like there's any life besides the bugs.
I don't know what do bugs eat in general.
Vegetation.
Dead vegetation a lot of times.
But there's no vegetation in general. It's an ugly planet.
A bug planet. A planet that is inhospitable to life as we know it.
Man. And then the last one is, how many rounds does the gun hold? The machine gun?
Yeah, each gun holds approximately 10,000 rounds of ammunition.
200 written down, question mark?
200 seems reasonable, but
it's not really that reasonable. Do you know how heavy that is? To have 200 rounds? Like, Arnold isn't in this movie. Okay?
It's true.
Arnold can hold a minigun.
Well, that actually leads into one of my questions. Is this a society that uses genetic engineering? Because you have high school students and soldiers who have extreme strength.
And the 30.
They look 30. Yeah, maybe that answers the question.
Yeah.
Agility, coordination, Rico being able to jump 6 feet in the air and do a flip. Diz, 140-pound, probably not even, probably 120-pound woman, fending off blitzers left and right. Rico standing on top of a moving bug for 15 seconds.
And it seems like the shotgun is much more effective against them.
It did seem like that.
So why don't they just have a bunch of shotguns? Miniguns?
Maybe you can't hold as many rounds.
Dude, if they have the technology to get 800 million light years across, right, without breaking the relativity barrier, they can't have better guns? At the end they do, though, right? They show the rocket launcher.
Well, yeah. I mean, kind of.
Nuke 'em.
What
memorabilia do you want?
Well, I got a couple more unanswerable questions here.
Yeah, what do you got?
So you mentioned earlier, do most of the promotions in the United Citizen Federation just happen on the battleground? Like, we just got a bunch of field promotions?
Yeah.
At the rate Johnny was being promoted, he should have been general by the end of the movie. And so I didn't know the character's name. The woman who ends up killing Breckenridge during the live fire exercise, her name's Jana D. Did she face any punishment for killing Breckenridge, or did she get booted out, or did she take the walk? She quit.
She was crying.
Okay, so
She took a stroll down Washout Lane.
how did Zim catch the brain bug just seconds after Johnny Carmen and Ace left it? They're coming out of the hole, and next thing you know, yeah. But my big question is, and they've got to be genetically engineered, right, to be super strong, super agile, highly coordinated.
Yeah, you have Diz, who's essentially a man.
Right.
But she still looks hot.
Right.
Erica will disagree with that, but
well,
she's okay. Would you rather date, or would you rather marry Diz or Carmen?
The characters or the actresses?
The characters.
Carmen's just such a whiny, downtrodden, airheaded.
Okay, what if it's the actors?
I don't know enough about Dina Meyer,
She's
her career.
Sweetheart.
Yeah.
Dude, she shows her tits twice in this movie.
That's great.
That's awesome.
It's good news.
Good for her. Okay, what memorabilia? I have the green violin.
I got that too.
Jake Busey's teeth.
I don't have that.
And then I want the gun, man.
A mobile infantry rifle?
Yeah.
I got that too. So I got 2 of the 3. I got the green violin, the mobile infantry rifle, and I want Rico's squad leader pin. I want to wear that to a wedding and just have this giant pin.
You know what's awesome is when he first gets it,
he's like,
he first gets it, he cleans it off like glasses. He's
yeah.
But he just got it. It should be brand new and shiny.
Yeah.
I think it's just for effect because he takes it so serious. Who peaked in this movie? Casper Van Dien definitely peaked.
Had to be. I mean, he was in the sequel, but so what?
Well, I don't even know what that is. So
Starship Troopers 2?
Well, I understand that it's a sequel name, but
I didn't see it
I
either.
won't watch it. Dina Meyer.
Also, I have that, but I had a question mark because
Same. I think it's Saw.
Yeah,
She's
she
in
did. She
four
was
Saw
in.
movies.
Was it 4?
At least 3.
Yeah, she's also
Dies
in.
in the 3rd one, I think, or the 4th one.
She has a recurring guest spot in Friends.
But she has a great death. And
That's the one where her chest gets like,
and
ripped
she
open. Right?
She actually completes it. It has to be 4. Because that's the first time she
2,
actually
3,
completes
4. Okay.
it. And it's like, doesn't matter. It's unbeatable. Because if you complete it, you're still going to get ripped open. So 4. She's in 3.5 Saw movies, we'll say.
There you
That's it. Alien Bugs.
go.
Is this the...
There has to be another movie that had alien bugs, right?
Well, I mean, I'm saying bugs because like aliens would be aliens.
Was it the bugs or the aliens in Independence Day? They were kind of bugs, weren't they? I guess that'd be the same year, though, wouldn't it?
No, but it's, Independence Day was 96.
Oh, so it was earlier. Okay.
But they're not bugs. They're aliens.
They're kind of
alien
bugs. Bugs. Yeah, they are definitely bugs.
Naked shower scenes.
That did not peak. We'll take a naked shower scene any day of the week.
No, but is this like the peak?
Oh, the pinnacle of it? I don't know. I'd have to think back at some shower scenes.
Okay, the last one I have is hot sex scenes with no sex.
You know what? Have you
don't
seen?
see
Did you see The Substance from last year?
I don't watch new movies.
Okay. There is a shower scene in that. That's
Yeah. What about hot sex scenes with no sex? Is this the peak of that? It's a hot sex scene. You get the funny moment with her shirt hanging up.
Yeah.
Trying to.
I don't think it's supposed to be played as a funny moment, though.
I was laughing out of my penis.
Again, unintentionally hilarious. I mean, they do have sex. Like,
But you don't show it.
and also, is it irresponsible of Ratchek to delay the answer to the recess call for another 10 minutes?
He sees the look in her eyes. Okay? She wants that deep.
Yeah.
And also, goddamn, Rico needed that
He's
shit.
trying to get his boy laid.
Who won the movie?
Humankind. This as the chancellor, what did they call the head of the military, whatever. He's like, we're gonna make this a universe that is for humankind and not for bugkind.
I have we did as in the viewer, because we got this movie, because they didn't make any money on this movie, but we won.
I think Paul Verhoeven won also.
Yeah?
So my in-movie winner is Humankind, unfortunately, because it's a bad society. But my out-of-movie is Paul Verhoeven, because this film finally gets recognized as the biting satire
Verhoeven,
that it
I
is.
think.
Call him up.
Yeah, I think it's Verhoeven.
Is it Verhoeven?
Verhoeven. Yeah, it's not Verhoeven.
Verhoeven?
It's Verhoeven. I
Verhoeven.
could be wrong. I've heard other people pronounce it the way I'm pronouncing it. That's why I'm just going on that.
Well, either way, I think you're right. We won.
I'm right about the pronunciation.
No, we won as
We
viewers.
did. Let's
yeah.
go.
There we
Any
go.
last thoughts about this movie?
No, I'll probably go and watch it this weekend again after talking through it, because it's a movie that I know it's a little long, 2 hours 9 minutes,
We
something like that.
should petition to get this movie shown at Arcata or something.
I think that's a great idea. Yes,
Any local theater, and raise awareness for this absolutely
this
insane,
underrated
bonkers,
action movie that was
funny, man.
formational in my development as a child.
Same. The titties, man.
Titties,
All right, buddy.
titties.